arrest or detention
morning. Are you
case, if you
Victor
go to trial
Charles
and you're
Campbell
found
Jr.?
guilty, it's habitual. You're looking at 25 to
And
life.
Mr. Parker,
We
will your
can set it
client
for
waive the formal
trial.
reading of
I'm
the
not playing
indictment in
games
each
and I'm not going to
case?
accept the disrespect.
And it looks like we
Good morning.
are
Are you
going
Victor Charles Campbell Jr.? And 21-36426
and Mr. Parker, will your client waive the formal reading of the indictment in each case?
There's also dismissal.
And it looks like we are going. All right, Mr. Campbell.
And 21-36426
And cause
and
number
21-36426. You're charged with a third-degree felony offense of evading arrest or detention with the use
All
of a
right,
vehicle.
Mr. Campbell.
And that's from November 28th of
And cause number
2020.
21-36426.
The indictment further
You're
alleges
charged with a
that you
third-degree
were
felony
previously
offense of
convicted of
evading
assault,
arrest or
family
detention
violence
with
with
the
the use of a
third-degree felony
vehicle,
December
and that's from
5th
November
of
28th of
2014.
2020.
And how you
plead to that charge. The
So-
indictment further alleges
So
that
to the
you
charge,
were
to start
previously
with just
convicted of
evading
assault,
arrest or
family
detention
violence
with the
with
use of a
third-degree
vehicle
felony
December
from November
5th of
28th of
2020.
2020. How do you
And how
plead
do
to
you plead to
that
that
charge? Guilty
charge?
or not guilty?
So to the charge,
It's
to start
guilty
with
or not
just
guilty.
evading
Either you
arrest
did
or
it or you
detention
didn't
with
do
the
it.
use of a vehicle
From November 28th of
Either
2020.
there's
How do you
a
plead
plea
to that
agreement
charge?
means
Guilty
in
or
my
not
court,
guilty? You either enter a plea of guilty or not guilty.
guilty.
It's guilty or not guilty. Either you did it or you didn't do it.
I thought that's what the plea
Mr. Campbell, I understand that you're already
Either
doing time.
there's
for
a
murder
plea
and
agreement
that you don't
means
really
in
care
my
about what's
court,
going
you
on
either
today.
enter a plea of guilty or not guilty.
because he never even went over the indictment with me.
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe.
Mr. Campbell,
So
I
here's the
understand
thing.
that you're already doing
I
time
just
for
only been here
murder
for like
and that
about
you don't
30
really
days.
care about
So I
what's
got
going
like
on
3
today.
weeks, and I plead no 30 days because he and never about even 2 went over weeks the of indictment being with
He was
me.
pitching
both
on
I
here.
find that hard to
So,
believe. So here's the thing.
the nature of the crime, I just only been here for like about 30 days. So I got like 3 weeks the indictment, 30 days and about 2 weeks due to the fact of the
He was
nature of the
pitching on here.
charge.
Yeah.
So from 2018, the nature of the crime, no cause number, 5 years, the magistrate 4 years to indictment, the indictment, send that indictment.
Sir,
due to
the
the fact of the nature
allegation,
of the charge of being.
I'm not
from
going to allow
2018, it's fine. You have 5 years or 4 years. To
Here's the
indict
thing,
me
I don't have to
actually
accept
send
any
that
plea
indictment.
agreement.
sir,
Okay.
the
So
allegation,
I'm
you
pleading no
can,
contest.
in that evading.
I'm not going to
arrest
arrest
or
or
guilty,
detention
it's fine.
case. If you go to trial and you're found guilty, it's habitual.
Here's the
You're
thing,
looking
I
at
don't have to
25 to
accept any
life.
plea agreement.
We can set it for
Okay.
trial. I'm
So
not playing games
you
and I'm not
can,
going to accept
in
the
that
disrespect.
evading,
If
arrest
you
or
want me
detention
to follow
case,
this
if you go to
agreement
trial and
and
you're found
go along
guilty,
with the plea agreement,
it's
and you
habitual.
can go
You're
along
looking
and
at
do your time
25
and be
to
done
life,
with it, then we can
we
get
can
that
set it
done.
for trial,
But you're not going
I'm
to
not
show
playing
disrespect
games and
while
I'm
we're
not
doing
gonna
it
accept
to
the
me. Do you
disrespect.
understand?
If you want me to
So
follow
if
this
you want to go
agreement
forward, we'll go
and
forward.
go
If
along with the
not,
plea
we'll set
agreement
it for
and you can
trial.
go on,
Mr.
do your
Smith will
time
get
and be
ready
done
with
with
it,
it,
then
then
we
we
can
can
get
get
that
that tried
done.
within a month.
But you're not going to show
And it'll be
disrespect while we're
habitual
doing it
25
to
to
me.
life.
Do you
What do you wanna
understand?
So
It's
if you
18
want to go
years.
forward, we'll go forward.
No,
If
plea
not,
agreement.
we'll set it for
Plea
trial.
If you go
Mr.
to
Smith will get
trial,
ready
listen
very
to
quickly
me.
and we'll get
If
you
you
case
go
tried
to
within a month.
trial and you're found
And
guilty
it'll be
and your
habitual
prior
25 to life.
convictions,
What do
stop
you wanna
talking
do?
over me. If you
It's
go to
18 years.
trial and you're found
Plea
guilty,
agreement.
and
If
those
you go
prior
to
felony
trial, listen
convictions
to
are
me.
true,
If you go to trial,
then you're
and
looking at
found
habitual.
guilty
And your
25
prior
to life.
convictions, stop talking over
Today,
me.
there's an agreement for
If you go to
something different.
trial
I'm
and
glad
you're
to
found
accept
guilty,
that if that's what
and
you
those
want to
prior
do.
felony
But you're going
convictions
to
are
either
true,
accept responsibility
then
and
you're
plead
looking at
guilty
habitual,
or plead not
25 to
guilty.
life.
That's your choice.
Today, there's an
So
agreement
let's go
for
back
something
then and
different.
cause number
I'm glad to accept that if that's what you want to do. You're
You're
charged
going
with
to
a
either
third
accept
degree felony
responsibility
offense
and
of
plead
evading
guilty
arrest or
or plead
detention
not
with the
guilty.
use of a vehicle
That's your
from
choices.
November 28th of
So let's go
2020.
back then and
How do
cause
you
number
plead to that charge? Guilty or not guilty?
21-36426. You're
That's
charged
what I'm
with a
saying.
third
You
degree
said
felony
assault family
offense of
violence.
evading arrest or
Evading
detention with
arrest
the use
is
of a
not
vehicle
pleading
from
guilty.
November 28th of 2020. How do you
It's
plead to that
evading
charge?
arrest or
Guilty not
detention with
guilty?
the
What are you
use.
looking at? I'm saying.
I'm
Look,
looking at
That's
your
what I'm saying.
indictment.
He's saying you got
Assault family
indicted for
violence. I got that.
evading.
Evading arrest is.
in
I'm pleading guilty.
2014.
Right.
You were
Hold on,
convicted.
evading
of-
arrest or detention
You've
with the
probably
use.
already
tried.
I'm saying-
I'm
Look,
looking at your indictment.
He's saying you got
Place
indicted
that,
for
place that in front of
for
your
evading.
client,
In
please.
2014,
Now,
you
That
you were
is cause
you were
number. Hold on,
convicted of
this
something
Mr.
else. Okay.
You've probably already tried. Let me
36,
take care of it this way.
426.
Place that.
Okay.
Place
That
that in front
indictment
of your
alleges in
client, please.
paragraph 1
Now,
that you
that
committed
is
the
cause
third
number
degree felony
21,
offense of evading arrest or detention with the use of a vehicle from November
426.
28th of 2020.
That indictment alleges.
How do you plead to
in
that
paragraph
charge?
I
1
just pleaded no contest.
That you committed
wanna
the
substitute
third degree
contest.
How do
felony
you plead to
offense of
that
evading
charge?
arrest or
Guilty
detention
or
with the
not
use of a
guilty?
vehicle
We're
from
not going
November
backwards,
28th
okay?
of
I already
2020. told you you're not gonna
How
plead
do you
no
pleaded that
contest.
charge?
Guilty
I
or
didn't
not?
play no
You
contest.
plead guilty or
You
not
wanna
guilty?
settle
She's-
sometimes.
How do you pleaded that charge?
It's nothing.
Guilty
It's
or not
nothing.
guilty?
You're not allowed, I can take a plea of no contest
plea no
or I
contest.
cannot take a plea of no contest.
Plead
That
guilty
is
or
up
not
to the
guilty?
court.
So if I'm telling
You're
you
not
no contest,
legally
what is it?
entitled
It's
to
nothing.
plead no
It's
contest if
nothing.
there's a plea bargain. You're not allowed,
I'm
I'm
telling
telling
you,
you,
if
if
you
you
want
want
me
me
to
to
accept
accept
the
the
plea
plea
agreement,
agreement, or I
you're
cannot
going to
take a
plead
plea of
guilty
no
or not
contest.
guilty.
I've
That
already
is up to
told
the
you
court.
that. I'm not going to
You're
tell
not
you again.
legally
If I have to tell
entitled
you
to
again,
plead
no
to-
contest, if there's a
Guilty
plea
or
bargain.
not guilty.
I'm
saying-
telling
Period.
you, if
That's
you
your-
want me to accept
I'm
the
about
plea
to
of
set
your
your
case
case for
for
trial.
You're going to plead guilty or not
basically
guilty.
saying
I've
that
already
I'm-
told you that.
We're not
I'm
gonna
gonna
argue
tell
the
you
law.
again.
Or
If
I'm
I have to
guilty.
tell you
We're not
again,
arguing
That's
the law.
basically just saying
Guilty
that
or
I'm
not
guilty.
guilty.
I'm not going to
Saying
argue.
that
Period.
I'm
That's your-
guilty.
I'm
That's
about
saying
to
that
set
I'm
your
not-
case for
that's
trial.
saying that
Just
I'm
sign.
not. That's basically saying
I'm
that
just
I'm
guilty.
Go ahead.
We're not gonna
guilty.
argue the law.
I'm not, or
Listen,
I'm
I'm
guilty.
cool, man.
We're not
Go ahead.
arguing.
Well, you're
Basically
not.
just
You're
saying
really
that
not
I didn't
physical,
state
and you're
that.
making
I'm
me
not
very
gonna argue the
frustrated.
law,
with
man.
you.
I respect your call. Just go ahead and give me just
It-
sign. Go
nothing
ahead.
here-
Plead guilty.
I don't-
That's guilty.
okay.
Go ahead.
So you
That's
plead
what y'all
guilty
want.
to evading
I'm
arrest or
cool, man.
detention with the
Go
use of
ahead.
a
Well, you're
vehicle.
not.
Okay.
You're really not
The
being
next
cool, and you're
count,
making me
the
very
next
frustrated.
paragraph
Ma'am,
that
I
you're
respect
looking
your
at
call. Just go
says
ahead and
that
give
you
me
were
the-
previously
nothing here-
Plead
convicted
guilty.
of
There
assault,
you go.
family
So you
violence,
plead guilty
December
to
5th,
evading arrest or
2014.
detention with the use of a
Is that
vehicle.
true
Okay.
or
The
not
next
true?
count,
That you
the
have
next
that
paragraph
conviction on your
that you're
record?
looking
Okay.
at
And that's not
Says
the same
that you were
thing as far as
previously
evading
convicted
arrest, ma'am.
of
That's
assault,
two different
family
charges. So
violence,
if you really
December
want to be
5th of
technical as far as being a
2014.
habitual,
Is
that's
that
called a repeated
true or
offender.
not true that you
But-
have that
Exactly,
conviction
and
on
that's
your record?
listen.
Okay.
So,
And that's
Mr.
not the
Campbell,
same
that's
thing
okay.
as far as
Look,
evading arrest, man.
wow.
That's two different
Do
charges.
you want
So
to come
if you
sit
really
up here
want
and
to
be
be
the
technical
judge?
as
You're
far
so
as being a
smart.
habitual, that's called a repeated offender, man. I wouldn't mind.
I
But
feel like
Exactly,
I'm
and
right
that's
because
not
listen.
understanding.
So, Mr.
that's
Campbell,
15.
Mr. Campbell, you're getting a
Wow.
deal to go on
Do you
count
wanna
one
come sit
only,
up here
which
and be
makes
the
you a
judge?
repeat.
You're so
I get that
smart.
you've been
I
through
don't
this
know. If you
before and
need
you
some help,
understand
ma'am,
what's
I
going
wouldn't
on,
mind.
but
I
you're
feel like
making
I
this more
might because
difficult.
I'm not understanding.
If you go to trial, you could be habitual.
Mr. Campbell,
Today,
you're getting
if
a
we
deal
take
to
this
go
great
on
plea
count
agreement
one
only, which makes
it's
you a repeat.
I get that you've
I
been through this
understand that.
before and
I've
you
been doing this
understand
for
what's
30
going on,
years.
but you're making this more
Okay?
difficult.
If you go to trial,
So,
you could be habitual.
did you
Today,
enter your plea of
if we
guilty
take this great plea
freely
agreement
and voluntarily?
repeat. I understand that. I've been doing this for 30
Guilty.
years.
Did anybody force
Okay.
you to plead guilty today?
No.
So,
Okay.
so I have
Did you enter
in-
your plea
well,
of
let's go to the
guilty
next
freely
case then,
and
cause number,
voluntarily?
and here's that indictment.
And
Guilty.
clause number 22.
Did anybody force you to plead guilty today?
No.
Okay.
So I have in, well, let's
39050.
go to the next case then.
You're
In
charged
clause
with
number,
the-
and here's that
And
indictment.
in this case, we're just going on count one.
And
clause
one
number
only.
22.
So in this case, we're going on count one only. So it's just the offense of
39050.
tampering with physical evidence.
You're
a
charged
second
with
degree
the-
felony from
And in
November
this case, we're
28th
just
of
going on count
2020.
Count one only.
And how
So
do you
in
plead
this
to that
case, we're
charge?
going on
Guilty
count
or
one
not
only.
guilty?
So it's just the offense
Pleading
of
no
tampering with
contest, but
physical
guilty now.
evidence, a second degree felony.
So are you pleading
from
guilty
November 28th of 2020
to this charge?
And how do you
Okay.
plead to that?
And
charge?
did anybody
Guilty or
force
not
you to
guilty?
plead guilty in cause number
Pleading no
22
contest, but guilty
39050?
We just answered
So are you pleading
I know, I
guilty?
have to ask you in each case. It's
Plead
required by
to
law.
this charge.
It's required by
Yeah,
law that I
okay.
ask you that in every
And
case.
did anybody
Pleading
force
guilty.
you to plead
Okay.
guilty?
And nobody
in cause
forced you
number
to do that,
22
right?
39050?
Speak up so the
Yes,
record
ma'am.
can take
No.
it down.
I know, I
think
have
you
to
did.
ask you in each case.
You
It's
did plead
required by
guilty.
law.
That's
It's required by law
So
that I
no.
ask you that in every case.
Just
So-
plead guilty.
I have, and
in
nobody
both of
forced
those
you to do
cases
that, right?
here on the tablet. Some
Speak up so
documents
the
that
record
have your
can
signature
take it
No,
down.
I think you
That
did.
the state's marked as
You did.
exhibit number
That's
one.
that.
Before you
So, no.
signed those, did you go
Okay.
over them with
So-
Mr. Parker?
I have in both of those cases,
So,
the
beside
The
the
documents on the
Some
tablet,
documents
y'all
that have
have
your
that.
signature on them.
And do you
That the
understand
state's
if I
marked as
follow
exhibit
the
number
agreements that you've
Before you
made with
sign
the
those,
district
did you go
attorney,
over them with
that
Mr.
you'll be
Parker?
waiving or giving any right to
So,
the documents on the tablet? Y'all have that?
Yes or no,
And do you
please?
understand if I
that?
follow the agreements that
Okay.
you've made
I
with
have,
the
you have
district
to answer
attorney?
out loud
That
yes
you'll
or
be
no,
waiving
so that
or
the
giving
record's clear
any
that you
right to
understand
appeal?
that I know you understand what you signed. Okay.
Yes or no, please?
I'm
Do
not
you
trying to-
understand
you're-
that?
And what we
Doesn't have to be
signed.
that difficult.
Okay. I have,
Just
you
get
have
in,
to
get your
answer
deal,
out
and get
loud,
out.
yes
You're
or
making
no,
this
so
way
that the
more
record's
difficult
clear
than it
that
has
you
to be.
understand that I know
Do
you
you also
understand what you
understand
signed,
if you're not
okay?
a U.S.
citizen.
I'm
that
not
a
trying
plea of
you're-
guilty or no
Doesn't have to be that
contest,
difficult.
just get in, get
result
your
in your
deal and get out. You're
deportation.
making this way more difficult than it has
If you're not a
to be.
U.S. citizen, could result in your
Do
deportation.
you also
exclusion from
understand if you're
admission
not
to
a
the
U.S.
country,
citizen
or
that a
denial of
plea of guilty or
naturalization
no
under federal law?
contest
So what this is, so
could result in your deportation?
I'm required to ask everyone that.
If
Are
you're not a
you
U.S. citizen, could result in your
Yeah.
deportation,
Okay.
exclusion from admission to the country, or denial
State
of
tenors number one
naturalization
in
under
each
federal
case.
law.
so what this is,
It's
so
admitted in each case. Is there any evidence?
I'm
that Mr.
I'm
Campbell
required
is
to
not
ask everyone
competent?
that. Are you a U.S. citizen?
I know
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
I
State
just
tenors
printed
number
the
one
wrong
in each
thing.
case.
She asked me. She asked me
It's
about
admitted in
competent
each
for him. She
case. Is
weren't.
there
I
any
said, no,
evidence
he's
that
not. He's
Mr.
competent.
Campbell is not competent?
I know you.
I just printed the wrong stuff. Did I print both of
I just
the,
printed the wrong thing.
She asked me. She asked me about competent for him.
Certifications.
She weren't. I said, no, there's not. He's competent.
Blank.
Okay. All right, Mr. Campbell, I'm going to find in each of your cases
I just
that you,
printed those.
Mr.
Did I
Campbell,
print both of the,
Mr. Campbell, pay attention to me for a second, please.
certifications?
I ain't bringing
Mr. Campbell, all right, Mr. Campbell, I'm going to find in each of your cases that you, Mr. Campbell, pay attention to me for a second, please. You ready?
Yeah. I ain't drinking.
In cause number, Mr. 21-36426, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty and true freely and voluntarily. Find that you're mentally competent and you understand the nature and the consequences of your plea. In cause number 21-36426, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty and true freely and voluntarily. Find that you're mentally competent and you understand the nature and the consequences of your plea. Term of 18 years. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty in the Texas Department of Corrections. Find you guilty of evading arrest or detention. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody, but the law gives you the right to receive. In accordance with your agreement to a term of 18 years in the Constitutional Division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time. You'll get all the credit that the law gives you the right to receive.
You say that on record?
And cause number 22-39050, also find that you entered your plea of guilty.
I don't know.
I don't have that information. Find sufficient evidence. You'll get all the credit that you are entitled to guilty of tampering with physical evidence. And cause number 22-39050, also find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient evidence. You will also receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. In accordance with your agreement. These two cases will run concurrently, which means together at the same time and concurrently with any other sentence that you will also receive credit on that sentence. I have signed a dismissal as part of this agreement and cause number 22-39050. These two cases will run concurrently, which means together at the same time and concurrently with any other sentence that shows these were agreements that I followed. I have signed a dismissal as part of this agreement and cause number 22-39050 regarding your ineligibility. I'm handing you in both of your cases the trial court certification because of the judgments in our agreements that I followed until you've waived your right to possess a firearm or ammunition. I've also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Is a legal term. Because of the judgments entered against you, you're ineligible. If you have any questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm, possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. You can go back to the firearm is a legal term. You should read that written admonishment. If you have any questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long it lasts, you can talk with your attorney. You can go back to the bailiff.
So they have it at the jail.
So do I get my papers for my time, sir?
Go back with the bailiff.
Oh, gee.
You
Is you gonna
can
bring me
tell
my papers
me.
for my time,
Like,
sir?
what happened?
Excuse me?
I mean,
So they have it at the
this
jail.
one might be
So-
difficult, and Judge, this one's really gonna push you over the edge. Difficult. You didn't tell me.
Well, he wasn't that bad.